Hey everybody, are y'all ready to spread some Christmas cheer? I know it's early in the year, but I'm ready. This beauty, can you believe, started from a single paint stick. I can't believe it. She's gorgeous. It was a really long process to make this wreath. So I'm going to split this video in two, or else you're going to have a 3-hour long video. But there's going to be... after I finish the intro, you'll have a list of supplies that I used and where I got them from. I'll talk about it in the video. And then in the first section, we will put this gorgeous ribbon on here and we'll build the base up. And then in the second video, we'll do all the floral adding and fluffing and floofing and making it pretty. So if y'all are ready to learn how to make something like this Jingle Beauty, then let's get started. Okay, hey everybody. Today I'm going to be making my first Christmas wreath of the season. It's Labor Day weekend, so it's a little early, but you know, I got some stuff in, so I wanted to start playing with it. And I don't know exactly what I want to use yet, so I'm just going to show y'all everything I have to use. Y'all need to see my cup. Let me move that. Not everything I have to use, but the things I pulled out for this particular wreath. First off, I have this cutesy ornament. I've got two of these. They're actually red, but they have like an iridescent kind of glow to them. That's probably messing with my phone's autofocus. I'm sorry. We've got that, and then I've got two different ribbons. This cute Santa fur stripe with the green and white polka dots I thought would be absolutely adorable. I got this ribbon from General Wholesale and generalwholesalevivian.com, and this is a roll of fair silk ribbon, and I got this from oh shoot, I put her thing over there, Kate's Crafty Designs on Etsy. So yeah, I'm loving this fur. I can't wait to play with it. And what else do we have? Okay, I only grabbed one of these because it's just, you know, some filler. Little white ficus leaves for the tree. Actually, it's not going to be a tree. It's going to be a paint stick swag. And let me show you the paint sticks I've got. These came from Walmart, and you can get a pack of 3 for $1.48, I believe, something like that. They're around $1.50. All right, what else do we have? I got some cute ornaments. Those would be absolutely adorable. These are little bells, and we have, these came from Temu. The rest of the stuff came from Temu. This is just some white. They're kind of a foam type material, roses, and then I've also got red roses. I have some poinsettias from last year. They came from the Dollar Tree. I may use those. And then I have this adorable, I don't want to pull it all out because glitter will get everywhere. But if you can see that, this adorable, there's a lot of them in here too. I bet there's 24. These are pretty long. They're about 12 inches long. They're like little bay leaves. And they're really, really cute. Hopefully y'all can see that pretty well. You'll get a good view of them when I open the bag, because I know it's going to make a hot mess. But I'm not opening them yet. And these are just another filler. They came from Temu as well. And I was pleasantly surprised with the size of them. I expected them to be smaller, but they weren't, so yay. Let me pull them out. Come on, get out of this bag. Okay, so let's just pull one up so we can see what one looks like. So yeah, those are cute little, just like winter branches. That'll be adorable. They do have kind of a plasticky look to them. I don't care for that too much, but you know, get what you get, don't get you fit, right? I ordered it, it's mine now. So let's see, what else? I'm trying to think. Is there going to be anything else? A lot of times I will just introduce random things, like I may decide at the end to pull in some of this white eucalyptus. You never know. I just have a tendency to do stuff like that. But if I do, in the video, I will let you know where it came from. So I'm going to put all this stuff back up where it goes and pull it out while I'm using it, because I don't want to make a mess. Try to keep my workspace clean because I also live here. So I will be back in just a second and we'll get ready to go, y'all. Okay, so we're ready to start working with the paint stick. And this time I want to do something a little bit different. I normally have a pattern that I go by, and I thought that that pattern would make it look fluffier in the center, but it really doesn't. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just do this by eye, okay? So I'm going to start with 3 pieces in the middle, and that will be my fluffiest part. And then I will make it thinner as we go. So because of that, I don't know exactly how many pieces of mesh I need, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this mesh at 17 inches. That will give me 28 pieces, and I think that's going to be plenty for a 20-inch long paint stick. Okay, this is also very thick mesh, so we won't need anything that's longer than that for sure. And if we run out, well, by golly, we'll just grab another color and keep on going, okay? But I only have one of these rolls, so it's pretty important that it works right. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut, and I'll play some cheesy Christmas music for y'all to listen to while I cut. 17 inches long, 28 pieces. Oh no. Here's a tip, y'all. I just wanted to cut my mesh and my handle, my little thingy was loose. That's because I've been using this a lot. Make sure that your little screw there on the back is tightened up when you use your rotary tool, because you can slip and slice your finger pretty bad. Okay? Just a little heads up there. Alright, so this was my plan. I'm going to show y'all what I was talking about. I didn't say this very important thing. I got this smushed up box from generalwholesalevivian.com. This is a box of 100 pipe cleaners. I got a big box, big boxes for Christmas, because I don't know how many I'm going to be using. But I don't want to have to go to Walmart 1,500 times to buy mesh. So I'm just going to pipe cleaners. So I'm just going to pull a few out for starters. And like I said, I'm going to start with the center. I'm going to work my way out, making sure that I keep the paint stick fluffy and full, all hidden areas. But I still want that bulge in the middle. And then I want it to just kind of come, cascade inward. And then I will hot glue it on the back side when we're done. Normally I hot glue them or staple them on, but I don't know exactly how many I'm putting on, so I can't do that. So we'll hot glue them from the back when we're finished. Plug up my hot glue gun, kind of important. And then I'll write down what the pattern's going to be, and we'll go from there, okay? Okay, so we'll start most likely with 3 pieces right in the very middle. So I'm just going to eyeball this and mark off the center of my paint stick. going to be right at 9 inches because that's the center of this mat. It's 9 inches because it's an 18-inch mat. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and put one piece on in the middle, and then we'll spin it around. Normally I put all of these on at once, but you know, since I don't know how I'm using them, try to center it right there in the center. Okay, tighten it up pretty good, and then pull it up. All right, and then we're going to take the next one and come over here. We want it to go to the side, not to the side completely, but just, you know, at an angle compared to the first one. Tighten that up pretty good. Okay, and then one more on the other side. And I'll do it to the top of the one on the middle. No, kind of scrunch them up together there. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and load these 3 up because I need to know what I'm doing as I go. If I take off, I have 20 pieces total. If I take off 3 off the top, that means I have 17 pieces to split between the center, or the other sides. So that's actually going to mean I only have 8 pieces for each side. So I got to keep that in mind, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and we're going to do the cruffle method, or the, you know, I don't know, ruffle method, cruffle method, not cruffle, yeah, the woodland ruffle. Anyway, I'm doing it the easy way. I'm just rolling letting my mesh roll naturally a little bit, and then kind of bring it together. Maybe put those a little tighter in there, and then bring it together. Cruffle, ruffle, woodland, you know what I'm trying to say. All right. So then we're going to put this one over here to the side. Maybe it would be thicker if we did it the other way. Hold on, let's see. Let's see if it would be even thicker if we do it this way, which we'll want to flip it over for that. So I might like it better this way. Yeah, I think I am going to use this method instead because we get a much fuller product. See that? Now we're getting some juice, okay? So we're going to go ahead and try to get this in here, just like so. We may only need 2 in the middle. Jeez. I don't know. I was going to look at some of my others that I've made, and I've sold them all. So I can't remember how I did on, you know, which piece. Okay, so put that in there, tighten it up pretty good, and we can move this around as we need to. You know, you can turn it and spin it and stuff. So, yeah, that may be too much. It's cute, though, but it may be too much. All right. Nah, it's never too much for a wreath. Look at that. You can just build that up. So pretty. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do another woodland, a ruffle method, regular ruffle. We're just going to fold over the bottom about an inch, ½ inch to an inch, and then we're going to just go straight up the center, just scrunch, scrunch, scrunch. And we're going to put this in number 2. Right in the center. So it looks like we're going to have a lot of overlapping mesh, but we're not, because I'm going to fix it where it doesn't overlap. Okay, like I said, because we have overlapping mesh, see that? It looks like it's really, really big, but if we pull these down and kind of work them like this, then we're going somewhere, okay? But you can kind of see the center there. But, of course, when I do this, you're not going to be able to see the center as much. Okay, I don't know. Let's just roll with it. Okay. We're just rolling with it, y'all. Regular ruffle method. Without the pipe cleaners. Still not sure if I'm liking this enough. Okay. So there we have it. It looks kind of like a little dress, like a little fluffy dress. What do y'all think about that? I can't decide if I like it or not. We got to put some more in and see how that goes, okay? So let's just go ahead and keep on putting on mesh. I tell you what though, this does take up a lot more real estate, so that's good. So we're going to come down one length. We'll probably go right to the tip of this mesh and put in 2 instead of 3. Okay, so I'm coming right here to the end of the mesh, probably just a little bit below it. And I'm going to put in one just leaning to the side just a little bit, and the other leaning to the other side just a little bit. And then whatever I do to this side, I'm going to do to the other side. So I will probably fast forward through that. Okay, now, like I said, we're going to hot glue these down. Boy, now I'm going to be stuck with a bunch of mesh rolls that aren't rolled up or that aren't in a wreath. Maybe I can make 2 of these. Okay, let's see. Let's just create our ruffle. Leave about 1 inch there on the end. And let's come on down in here and put this piece. Now, one of my goals in using regular, should have used a thicker mesh, but because this is window pane mesh, but I think, you know, the method is going to make it work. We want to hide that paint stick, you know. Okay. So we're going to get one more and put it here on this side. And if this turns out horribly, then I'll just take it all apart and do it the whole way. Can't hurt doing what you know, right? Roll under there. Okay. Boy, this really holds that ruffle good. This is more of a Deco poly, or poly burlap, I should say. And while I did cut it with a rotary cutter, this mesh is not going to fray as much. Because it's got some plastic in it. So it's a little bit sturdier than, I know regular mesh is plastic too, but this just is a little sturdier. I don't know how to describe it. This is like a mini window pane mesh. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to bring those down, slide them down. It's good to know that I didn't make them permanent yet. Geez, I got stuff falling everywhere. It's raining leaves at my house. Now, another thing to notate is that we're going to have fillers in here. So if there appears to be a little hole, it's going to be covered up. Let me see how that's looking. Just don't know, y'all. Pulled it down a little bit, so we're still within range there. So I went up about 2 inches. I'll go up about 2 more inches and do 2 more, and then I'll do 1. Okay. So let's bring that piece up and together. Okay. And now all of our little fillers and stuff like that are definitely going to cover any holes, so y'all don't worry about that. Oh, hold on, I gotta put some more of these on there. Hold on. Okay. Now, see how I'm putting these on the back, okay? So y'all, I watched some pretty good football today. I'm not kidding. Alabama versus Florida State, and then I watched Ohio State and Texas, and I'm going to tell you what, today was a good football day. Season opener, no doubt. Okay. I was watching Clemson and LSU, and then I'm just kind of footballed out, so I wanted to be creative. So let's put this one on here. And now, my next one, I'm only going to use 1 of these because I just want that bulging look in the center, okay? And hopefully this does it for me. If not, I'm going to scream. Because I'm not really seeing it just yet, but let's try. All right, here's our last little doofer. I'll put it on right here. And try to keep in mind this is your outside piece, so you want it to be kind of perfect and neat and orderly and all that good jazz. Okay. Now, do I want it to be like this or this? I want it to be like that. We can always turn it around if we want to. Let's tighten that up. And once we've got these all on, we'll go in and hot glue the back. I'm going to flip this over and show you my pattern. Now let's close this up and put these here together. And voila, how cute is that? We need a little more fluff right there. And you can adjust as you go, that's no problem. So it's a little bit fluffier. Really, it's just got more, you know, waves in the center. It's not necessarily any bulgier, which is what I wanted. I wanted further out. Maybe I need to use 21-inch mesh. I don't know. All right, but the pattern is 3, 2, 2, 1. Okay, just like that. So on this side, I've already got my 3. So I'm going to do 2, 2, and 1. And I'm going to fast forward through this part because we just did it. You guys saw what I did. And I don't want to bore you to death. Okay. So again, we're going to do 3 in the center. 2 about 2 inches above that. Another 2 about 2 inches above that. And then the last 2 inches, we're going to put 1. All right. So there we go. Alright, I wanted to stop the video, y'all, to tell you and remind you, don't forget to put in your holder, your wreath holder piece. You're going to put that in right here on a paint stick. There's going to be a little curved part right there for like if you were holding it. So definitely go ahead and put that on as your wreath holder. I like to, well, generally I do it the other way. I take mine and I wrap it around from the back. I go around to the front, cross over, and come back around to the back again. And take these two and twist them together really, really well. I mean, really well. Okay, no playing around here. Alright, y'all, so twist them up good and tight. They got to support the weight of this wreath. Okay, and then you want to, I forgot to twist it and tighten it there as well. So you'll have a circular, a little circular ring on the back to hang it from a wreath holder or whatever. Just use a little pipe cleaner for it, and we'll hot glue that down so it stays in as well. Okay, so here she goes. I did not achieve the bulge at the center. All I got was just fluffier at the center and less fluffy at each end. But that's okay. I'm going to, if I want to get that look, I'm going to have to use a different method. And I just didn't want to use that method with this mesh. I don't want to waste that method on this mesh. And that would be the bubble method where you just bunch it up, pull it down, bunch it up again. You know, you can do that and create a shape with that. But instead, we're going to have this here. And I still like it. It's still slightly larger in the center. But we'll have our nice pretty big bow up here. And then we'll do some cascading ribbons. And we'll just start decorating. Make sure you leave these on right now, because that's going to be needed to hold our cascading ribbons. Okay, so the first order of business, though, is going to be hot gluing these babies down. Okay. Okay, we're gonna let that dry. I happen to have my little heat stroke fan, not my heat stroke, my hot flash fan right here. So we're gonna try to help it along here. Okay. I've got this cute red and white stripe bow as well. So I think, or ribbon, I think we're going to use it. I don't know if I have enough. Let's see. Maybe just for the bow. We'll use this just in the bow, and we'll use the other two ribbons to cascade downward. Maybe we can put in some tails with this as well. But just, this is for the bow only. And it's, I got this ribbon at Hobby Lobby. It's red and white stripe. And I honestly do not care for the polyester type feel of it, but that look I do like. I want that look. We're just using, you know, regular old Christmas colors. Well, these are really more like Grinchy Christmas colors, aren't they? Okay, so let's put our pin back in that one. And this is going to have to be the bottom layer of the bow, actually, because it's the biggest. No. Yeah, it is the biggest. So we'll make this the bottom layer, this the second layer, because of the color change as well. And then this will be the top layer of our bow. Okay, so let's go ahead and move our wreath base out of the way to work on this bow. I do make hand bows, but since this is a tutorial, I'm going to use a bow maker. And if you know how to make bows by hand, then great, go for it. I like to make mine by hand. I prefer to do it that way. But I want this to be perfect, so we'll just go ahead and do it like this. So we're going to start with this little bit of leftover red and white striped ribbon that I had. I tried to make a bow out of it, and the ribbon itself is just not very cooperative. So what we're going to do is make some tails with it. Okay? So we'll make 12-inch tails. And that is literally going to be from one end of this to the other. All I have to do is cut. So those will just be some cute tails tucked within the bow. And they can go left or right, top or bottom, doesn't matter which direction, they can go anyway. They're just there for moral support. I wanted those stripes to give it that candy cane look. It looks like we've got enough to make about 2 more. So I'll go ahead and fold that over, double it up, and cut it into a dovetail. And then we'll just go ahead and come over here. One side's already dovetailed, so I'll probably save one to go on top of the green ribbon. And this one is kind of wrinkled from where I was playing with it earlier. Alright, so we're just going to do it like that. Not that far. I really don't love this ribbon, y'all. I'm not kidding. But I need that candy cane stripe. Okay, let's go ahead and dovetail this side. And throw our garbage away. And we're going to save this to put on top of the green. Let's bring in some ribbon that's going to cooperate with me. This is RG ribbon, and it's really great ribbon. It usually is really great. But what I'm looking forward to is getting my hands on the spare silk. But be patient, Nancy. So I'm just going to drop it to the floor. If you got those fancy roller things, well then by golly, use those. I wish I had some. I don't. It'd be nice to be all neat and orderly like that. But I'm not. So I just really wanted to see how cute that candy cane stripe is against the blue, green and white polka dot. That is adorable. Okay, so now my tails. We're going to do cascading ribbons down the side, or down the center actually. So I'm just going to make a bow and then do the cascading tails separately. So as far as wreath tails, I'll probably make this one about 12 inches. So we'll go to 16 down to 4. Yeah, I think so. About 12 inches for those tails. Okay. And you should be seeing this from my angle, as long as I get the video edit to cooperate. I hope it cooperates better than that red and white ribbon. This is why I prefer to make hand bows. I don't like using a wreath maker, the bow maker. I'm the wreath maker. Okay. So these are going to be 5-inch loops. Just a little bit there. I have got some really pretty, gorgeous 4-inch ribbons. They just won't go on this. They don't match this wreath. So I can't wait to use them though. I'm really looking forward to it. Alright, so we're going to do 4 loops on this bow. Ribbon bow wreath. And you say them so many times you kind of get tongue twisted. Okay, let me make sure those look to be the same size. This one looks a little bigger. Okay, there we go. Flip it around. We're still going to use this ribbon to cascade down the center of the mesh in the. It'll really be a swag, not a wreath. Just call it a wreath. All right, let's flip our bow over. I like to keep it fluffed while I'm working with it, so I know what it's going to look like when I finish it. Inevitably, it's going to get smashed, though. We know that. All right. Now, so we want to bring this down to about a foot here. Okay. Kind of eyeballing it. I like to eyeball stuff. I don't like to have everything nice and neatly perfect. Some people measure their loops. I don't do that. I should have gone ahead. Instead of using zip ties with this bow, I'm going to use a pipe cleaner just to give that little pop of color in the center instead of clear white plastic. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and feed this underneath there. Really doesn't matter though. If you put it in now or later, it's going in either way. Okay, I'm thinking about doing a 3-loop bow in the center of this. If y'all play with that ribbon, and you can get some cute tails off of it. Now, I will not lie, this is my first ever fair silk ribbon, and I'm going to tell you, just from playing with it, the quality is amazing. I mean, this sucker could hold my window curtains up, you know. I mean, it's very, very nice. As a matter of fact, I'm not losing those little inches that you normally lose with a ribbon. Probably going to be a little bit harder to cut through because the wire is really thick on a luxury ribbon like this. Okay? I'm not going to dovetail it. I'm going to knife blade it, knife edge it, whatever you want to call it. Jeez. I don't want to mess my scissors up. Go. There we go. Okay. Now, so let's see, if I do the 3-loop thing, we're probably going to need a tail first. So I'm going to make one that has a tail coming up this way that kind of meets the other tail, right? Matches the other tails, sort of. Alright, like that. Like so. And then we want it to come down here on this side in the center. Like this. And we're going to cut it. You got to have some really good scissors to cut this ribbon. Okay. So we're going to do that. We're going to just make a tail only. And then we're going to make a 3-loop bow. And what I'll do is I'll start off with a tail on the side and I'll end with one of these little tails. Okay. And you don't have to throw this one on the floor. I'm not throwing this one on the floor. Don't forget it. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Okay. Quit playing around. And you do have to twist this. It is not double-sided. Just that ribbon made me cringe. That ribbon sound. Okay, so 3 loops here. The reason I'm doing that, you know what I forgot to do? Hold on. Hold on. Forgot to do this. I want this in there. Now let's do our 3 loops. And if these are too long, we can trim them up at the end of the, bow making process. If you twist the spare silk ribbon, it's not coming untwisted. So that's beautiful. Okay, so 3 loops. Here we go. We're going to come in a little bit smaller. How much smaller? Just about a 1/2 inch. So we'll say about 4.5 inch loops, okay? And then we'll go here. Do the same on this side. I really should have started that on the other side, but it doesn't matter, honestly. Okay. Now, is that about, yeah, that's about the same. So we'll twist it going down. I got one last loop to make. And then we'll end it with a tail at the top. Make that a little bigger. See if that matches in size. Let's see, how's that look? It's hard to tell with the other ribbon laying through it. It's a little bit too big. Not much, just a little bit. Okay, there we go. Now, and then we're going to come on up here and make this one lean towards the opposite side. And we'll cut it up at an angle like this. Okay? Just set that ribbon off to the side. And put it over there. Oh, we got our other ribbon. It's still on the floor. I'm going to leave it for now because I still have to make the other bows, or the cascading tails. Okay? Alright, I can do all my fluffing later. I need to just get busy with it right now. So, let's go ahead and tie her up. She is female. My bows always are. I'm just going to cross it over once, pull it up, and then scoop this over to the center. I do just like that, so we have that nice little green pop of color in the middle. And then we are going to twist it up tight. I already regret this red and white wreath or ribbon, but I need it. I need it. Just remember that, okay? Now, this is going to be an absolutely adorable little bow. be able to tell better once I get it on the wreath. Start playing with it like this. Maybe easier to do it that way, yeah. Okay. Now, let's put it on the wreath. Quit playing with it. Now, we're going to have to look at the back to identify the top. So this is the top here. So our bow is going to go, I suppose, right up here in this little hole. So we don't need this. Our bow's going to go at the very, very top, okay, y'all? So let's just go ahead and, we don't need that one at the top. The pipe cleaners, just go ahead and cut those off. Because you got some more pipe cleaners that are coming on board right here. And we're going to go right down through the center, find the center of your meshes, and then just work your way around it and twist it on very securely onto the back. And you'll probably want to secure it with hot glue. I'm going to. I have nothing left to hold on to. Cut off the excess as well, or you can even fold it back over and hot glue it down. I think I'll do that. Okay, so let's go ahead and put some hot glue on this baby. You stay down right there. You stay down over here. Stay. I'm talking to my dog. I'm going to give that hot glue a second to dry before I start playing with a bow. Alright, that's good. Let's flip her back over. It's always hard to work with a swag this way because I need space this way. I need to clean my table off some. I just got to bite the bullet and do it. But we're going to start kind of twisting this bow around to back where it's supposed to be. There we go. Just sort of angle it this way. And now your fairy silk ribbon's going to do whatever you tell it to do, okay? So, just kind of do like that. Pull this one down because you don't want it all overlapping. And I want these pieces kind of to the side. That's gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Alright, and then this is going to look terrible. I hate that. I hate the red and white, y'all. Okay. Let's get these pieces and bring them on down. That looks good. Very good. Okay. Now, the red and white is not my friend. So we're going to trim it up because it's too long and lanky. So we're just going to trim it up because it's probably not going to stay where I put it. We're going to trim it. Go ahead and fluff up my green real quick. Fluff it up, fluff it out. I want that red and white kind of in the center. Okay. How's that looking? That looks much better. Now we need to trim up this red and white. I'm going to make it actually shorter than the bow. Yes, yes, yes. I know, I always turn around backwards when I have to do this backwards. Okay, that looks much better. So much better. And then this one will cut about the same angle. Or about the same length, should I say? Obviously the same angle. So I'm just trimming up our red and white bows here. Making them a little bit shorter than the green. Just so you get that little pop of color as you turn your eyes around. I might make this one a little bit longer. Unless it wants to act up on me, then it will get cut. Making myself sound like a mobster. Looks right. I think there's just one more, if I'm not mistaken. Don't screw around and cut your mesh by accident. Okay, so make some pretty big bows, some pretty big loops with your front 3-loop ribbon. Want your little V-tails up there. Maybe kind of do like so. Just arrange them however you feel appropriate. I mean, they really don't have to be in any certain way or shape. They just need to be however you like them, because that's what really matters, is how you like it, how it feels to you. Okay, y'all, and I always have to pick my projects up when I'm working on them. Hold on, let me get whatever that is off. Just to see how we're doing here, okay? So let me pick it up. Have a little look-see. Yes, it's cute, but I definitely want more ribbon on this wreath. Alright, so generally what I do is I start, I'm probably going to hide where I connect it right under here, okay? And then I'll just cascade it out and down like so. Okay, so that means I got to put both of these pieces on at the same time, which is not always easy to do, especially with a fair silk. I've never used this before, so there's a first time for everything. Now, I'm not going to cut any tails on this because I'm not really using, I'm hiding this end as a matter of fact, right? So I'm going to have to lift this up and find the nearest piece of, shoot, I might be in trouble. I should have left that piece of mesh on there, or that pipe cleaner on there. Kind of far south for me to have to go. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a pipe cleaner in there because I really need it. Okay, so I'm going to throw in a pipe cleaner right here underneath the handle. And I'm just putting that in to start my ribbon off with. Y'all don't have to do this. It's just it's how I'm deciding to do it. And I'm going to kind of angle it to the left some. Jeez. Can't see it, I can only feel it. Okay, pull it nice and tight. And then we'll start our ribbon coming out of there. A little fan is spiking on me. Okay, so we want to just sort of start about right here. We want to put this far enough in so that it's going to stay, but where it'll hold good as well, okay? That's the same thing, stay and hold good. Alright, it's getting to be late. And then I think I will probably also hot glue this piece in the back because we don't want it coming loose. But that's how I'm going to start my cascade. And I'm twisting this up really, really good. And super duper tight. And then we'll cut off the excess. And leave about an inch so you can fold it over in half. Okay? And fold that leftover in half so you've got a good security amount on there. And then you can flip it over. And you can see the little piece I added is right here. Okay? So, I'm trying to slide it as far north as I can get it. Because I want it right underneath that bow. Alright. So let's hot glue it. Run a little bead between the two. And I don't have to, this mesh is keeping it from touching the table, so I'm just going to go ahead and flip it back over. And now we're going to flip our mesh back up again. Because you want a curl right here. So really need to come in, yeah, right there, just like that. So you kind of have to play with it a little bit to get it right where you want it when it comes out, okay? I'm going to angle it over this way. Y'all will be watching this video from the same angle as I'm recording. So hopefully you can see this the same way I see it. Okay. Jeez, I'm putting that ribbon on the chair. So they're both coming from behind me. Now, I'm going to play it down to about right here. And I want some good length on it, but not too much. And when you put this down, you'll want to pinch it together. Don't just put it in there. Pinch it first together, just like you would do a ribbon or a bow. And then put the pipe cleaner around it. I lost the pipe cleaner. Oh, I can't do two things at once. I can't talk and instruct. I was just looking at a cute little fall sign I have over there. I need to make something with that. Okay. I'm just going to leave this. Oh, God. What is this thing called? The pipe cleaner. I'm just going to leave that for right now. I'm just going to turn it around and kind of flip it right back underneath into the mesh. Okay, because this is going to kind of hide it anyway. And I don't think we're going to need that one, but I'm not going to cut it off yet. Okay, so we've got a cascade started. We've got our first bead, or row, or fall, whatever you want to call it. And now we're going to come back in this direction. Oh, my fair silk hit the floor. Oh well. And you're probably like, I want to separate mine, kind of like that. So I have a nice big roomy ribbon area, okay? Let them overlap a little bit, but separate them. And, alright, the nearest one is going to be right here. So I'm just going to pinch it together. Just like so. And wrap it up. We might do more than just this one little section. I probably will, knowing me. Oh, I lost the tail. There it is. Okay. Okay, so yeah, it's going to take a while to make one of these. They're not, or at least to instruct on it, I'm telling y'all. That's the reason this video is going to be long. I can go ahead and tell you now. If you looked at the length and went, oh my gosh, that is so long, this is why. It's a lengthy process. You know, we don't make wreaths in 20 minutes. The videos that you watch in 20 minutes are not really 20 minutes long. They're cut and edited. Alright. So now, see what you get when you kind of pull that and let it sit together? Oh, that is so cute, y'all. I'm jealous. I'm jealous of this cute ribbon. Now we're going to bring it back in this direction. And I think we're going to angle it from the very bottom. If we pull that last bottom piece, if we angle that to the side, then we can do that. That'll work. So the bottom pipe cleaners, I'm going to use the bottom, but I'm leaning it towards the right. Hopefully y'all can see this. Yeah, y'all should be able to see it. Okay, and then I am going to leave a tail at the bottom for this ribbon. But we're still looking kind of blank. We need some stuff around. But I need to kind of plan those a little bit better. So I am going to cut that one off because it's too exposed. I may have to, this one's pretty exposed too. I'm going to go ahead and cut it off. Okay. this is kind of a Grinch meets traditional Christmas color. Now, you'll want to hide those little pipe cleaners, chenille stems, I like to call them. You'll want to hide the chenille stems. So, the last thing we need to do, everything, everywhere, stuff. I have nowhere to put all this stuff. Okay, so let's come on down here and take our last little tail. We'll kind of just make a little tail hanging from the bottom. How about that? Now I want it to literally meet the bottom of the wreath. So I'm going to do this one about right here. Ridiculously hard. Okay. And then once you curl your tail, it's going to come up some. And then we'll do this one, a dovetail. At the same length. Although I think it just got caught up in itself. Let me see. No, that looks fine. Okay. Thought it got caught up together. Or folded in together, you know. Now, how about that? How are we looking, y'all? What I want to do is not have a heat stroke. I want to put a little line from here to here and a little line from here to here. So, let me just kind of plan this out before I actually start just going at it. I need to see where I have pipe cleaners. So I've got a pipe cleaner right here. And I can go from here to down here. Okay, so I know where I'm going with this one. And I'm going to do tails on these. So they have a tail at the top, tail at the bottom. And this wreath will just be full of tails. It'll be a big tail wreath. Alright, and then this one, I can start right here and end right here. And it'll be a little bit shorter, so it'll, you know, there'll be some kind of weight on this. Alright? So let's go with our greenery, our green ribbon, I mean. Let me dovetail it for the initial cut. Okay. Let me get my red and white. I was stepping on it. Don't need that. Red and white is only a 10-yard roll. I know it's really big, but it's 10 yards. So the tail I want to be about that length there. So make it a little bit longer because pinching kind of takes length off of it. Okay, so that looks good. Let's go ahead and bring it down to the pipe cleaner that's in this section right here. Twist her up. And then cut it off. One more twist or two on that. I like to make sure my pipe cleaners are all good. Okay, cut off the excess. Flip her around. Okay, now make your tails cooperate. And then we want to bring a nice little, kind of mirror that ribbon there. That's what we want to do. Really kind of want that coming over this way some. So we're going to kind of mirror that, only we're going in this direction now. And where was it going with it? Going right down here. I think this will be about a good length. Let's see. Yeah, that looks great. Okay. So we're adding a little weight up here, a little weight down here, and it'll offset for the entire wreath. And she's going to be so cute. You know what would be really pretty on here? I don't have any I did look at some today, but my daughter wouldn't let me buy them because I set a spending limit on myself. My husband, you know, put down the gavel. No accessory spending. So, anyway, glass ornaments. Pretty glass balls. Maybe even with little red or snow in them or something like that. That would be so adorable. I wish I had some. Okay, so we want to bring this. And like I said, I'm mirroring this. So this is going this and this way, right? I'm going to take this one and bring it the opposite direction. And then I want to twist this, kind of make it go like, bring it around to the side there. There we go. So that it's sitting directly to the left. Okay. Oh, and then I forgot the tail. We're going to bring that tail down. And we don't want to go longer than the mesh, okay? Because that would just look funny. So let's start at this. If in doubt, cut it too long because you can't put mesh back on. You can cut it off, but you can't put it back on. So if you cut it too short, you got problems. But we're going to cut this one about this far here. Okay, let's play with those tails. Pretty them up some. How's that looking so far, y'all? Do you like that? Let me see how much. I'm going to look at the viewfinder and see how much of this y'all can see. You can see all the way up to the bow. You can't see the entire bow. Alright. I would have to hang this phone from the ceiling to get this entire space because my phone does not zoom in. When I switch to video, it automatically zooms in, not out. It's just, drives me nuts. I think it's time for a new phone because iPhone has a 1/2 setting for the zoom, so you can actually zoom out on an iPhone. That's what I need, but I don't have one, so. Okay, I'm just cutting off any little pieces that I see along the way. You can trim them off as you go. Now we're going to make one more smaller loop to add some weight back to this side, okay? Let me just hold it up here and take a look at it because that's the way I work. I'll just lay tail over tail. Come on. Lay down there. There we go. Okay, yeah. I definitely needed that red and white candy stripe in this bow. Although, you know, I really hate it. But I definitely needed it in here. So, our next loop is just going to go from here to here. And then we will be done playing with ribbon, which is always my favorite part. I love the ribbon part. If I could, I'd just make bows. Like, that would be my whole job. Just making bows. If I could go have a job at the North Pole with Santa, I would be interviewing for the bow maker position. Wouldn't that be dreamy? Okay, we are going to stuff this full of flowers and glittery things, and it's just going to be absolutely adorable. Okay, so we want our first set of tails. It's going to go up, so we'll just make it about 5 to, yeah, it'll wind up being about 5 inches. Okay, I forgot my red one. Hello. Hold on. Since this ribbon is Christmas specific, I will be a little generous with it. Not too much, but my other ribbon I try to, you know, save as much as I can because I can use it for other seasons, right? But this I cannot. And so this one we're going to mirror the opposite way. Or actually, yeah, we're mirroring the opposite on this side. So we're going to go in here and tie down these tails. Sorry if y'all get my head in the shot. I don't mean to. tie that pipe cleaner up pretty good. Really good. Okay. Now on this next part coming up where I decorate this, I may zoom through, not zoom through, but you know, fast forward through a lot of it, kind of play it fast while I play music in the background, unless I have some explanations to give as to why I'm doing something the way I'm doing it. Because that really does, it takes a little while for me anyway, because I love to make sure that every single individual piece is in the perfect spot for it. So I'll try to make it a little bit shorter by doing that, y'all. Okay. We are at the end of the road here with the ribbon. Oop, what just fell? Scared me. Okay. I love the way this is turning out. I'm still creating kind of a bulge in the center, if you will, with this ribbon. And that's A-OK with me. Ow, poke me. You know, after I get poked with these wires, I have to put Benadryl on the little hole. Like if it really freaks my skin, I have to put Benadryl. It's like I'm allergic to whatever is in these wires. Heaven knows really what's on them. They come from China. Okay. Now, kind of reshape that loop a little bit. It's looking like a big fat loop. And that's okay to have a big fat loop if you want one. Okay, like I said, we're again mirroring this. Only this side, the green is on the outside and the red is on the outside. Okay? And down here, our tails will probably be a little bit longer, as we're going to bring them down to about right here, about this area. So I will go ahead and trim this one. Trim it a little bit shorter, yeah, about like that. And I'll trim this one the same from behind. It's so hard to cut at this angle. I cut the wrong ribbon. Okay. Alright, y'all, let's finish this up here. I'm going to turn it sideways so y'all can see most of the thing. How are we looking now? Isn't she cute? Cutie patootie. I love it. It would be pretty with either the glass bubbles. It would be pretty with diamonds. Ooh-hoo, I have one. So I think we probably will put a jewel in here. From exactly where? Right here. I think that would be a good spot. I've got two of them. A lot of people use two of them, but I don't know if we got room for two. Maybe two at an angle. We did one, no, it's got to come this way and then one that way. I don't know. I'll do all the thinking off camera. So I'll play around with that. And did I trim off? I did. I'm making sure I trim that off. So here we are. Let me angle that up so y'all can see it a little bit better. I think I want to trim this candy cane ribbon right here. Is a little bit too long. Trim that out. I lost my scissors. Oh, there they are. This candy cane right here is just a tiny bit too long. I'm going to trim it up some more. Hey, Maggie. My puppy dog came to see me. Hey, pretty girl. I'm still working on my wreath. She gets mad at me when I'm working on my wreath and goes and sits with her daddy. She's coming in to see if I'm still working on it. Okay, that looks much better. Alright, so I turned it down shorter. Here we go. Are y'all liking this? I'm loving it. Sparkles. I can see sparkles and sparkles and sparkles. That's what I want next. A lot of sparkliness. That means lots of glitter. And I hate glitter, but that's okay. it comes up hard, but it comes up. I could fluff and mess around with the bows forever, but so do y'all like it? I wish this was live. It would just be too long to be alive though. So here we go. I'm going to kind of zoom it up close to the camera, and we'll start at the bottom and to the top. And now it's time to decorate her. Okay. I got to decide, make the final decision on what I need to bring in to decorate her. So we'll be back. Okay, now it's going to be one of those times when I go grab something else to work with and use it. I think I want to polish this up. I want some sparkly ribbon in it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put just a short pop of gold right there in the center. Just really dramatic, okay? And then I'll have the jewels sitting on top of that little gold pop, okay? And instead of dovetailing this, it will be folded up because it's gold on the back. So, you can just kind of leave that one as it is, I guess. This is also fair silk ribbon. It is beautiful. Very beautiful. Excellent quality. Nothing to complain about. Okay. I fold it over 2 times there. And this ribbon is going nowhere when you fold it over. So I've already felt for my pipe cleaners. I know exactly where they are. And we want to leave about a 5 to 6 inch tail here to come out. Maybe a little bit longer for the top. We can always cut the tail off to make it shorter, remember? Just can't. You're going to have to work with this one. You don't want to slide your fingers down it because you'll get glitter all over you. Okay. Now, maybe a little shorter than that. I was right to begin with. Too funny. Okay. Oh, I knocked my hot glue gun to the floor. Hold on. Okay. Oh, I got my hand on it. That's why I can't see it. Okay. So, let's put this piece in here like so. Trim it up. Jeez, I can't get the hot glue gun on the table. Excuse me. I may go off camera a little bit, hopefully not. But, alright, and we want to run this down. Really, it's going to be coming from, we want it to look like the jewel is coming out of the gold ribbon, right? Okay, so it's just going to be one little pop, one little bead of it. I'll get it to do what I need it to do. There we go. Alright. So we're going to bring it back down into here. About right here. It's too long. About this long here. Now this bow is not necessarily for Christmas. This ribbon is not necessarily, I can use this for other seasons, so I'll try to be, you know, stingy with it. I got it from, I think it's Kate's or Kathy's Creations, Kathy's Crafty Creations, all with a case. Something to that effect. She's an Etsy seller. And you can just look for, if you want to get a good deal on fair silk, you can just look for the stuff that's on sale. That's what I do. Why pay full price like that commercial? Why would you pay full price when you can get something on sale? On Etsy, you can just go and search it up. Okay, see some pipe cleaners right there that need to be cut out. I'm going to leave them for now. You never know what I might need them for. Okay, let's see. Which way was that going? That way. Going this way, I kind of smush my ribbon up. Okay. This would be really cute to keep it going a little bit further, but I'm not going to do that. I just want that dramatic pop of color right in the center. And I'm just going to cut it off here. And then we'll fold up 2 pieces, two times. So you can see that pretty gold finish on the back. And you can, you know, shape that ribbon very, very easily. This will probably come down some, or maybe even pop out the side, but we're going to put the jewel right up here in this area. Okay? Just shape that a little more. And I like the pop of color. I think it's gorgeous. Hopefully you guys do too. I have a nice big mirror here in front of me, so I can see how it looks if it were hanging on someone's door. It'd really be cute with another pop over here on the side, but that would just be extra, wouldn't it? No. We're going to do it. It's just going to be tails, though. Let's see. Right here, we're going to do some little tails just coming out the side. I don't even have to, like, do anything extra with it. We're going to take our ribbon, fold the ends. 1, 2. Because we want to, again, put the weight back on it. And we've still got an odd number, so we've got 1, 2, 3 loops, although it's 1 ribbon. We're going to have 2 ribbons, but they're going to be not competing for attention. And we'll want the tails to be about, about that long. Not too much longer than that. Okay? So, let me just cut this down a little bit further. That's really hard to cut, yeah. Okay, fold it down 1 time and 2 times. Okay, and now we'll just take our ribbon and pinch it up right down the center. So y'all can understand what I'm talking about here. Going to be 2 little tails like that. And I've got a little piece of our little pipe cleaner over here. That's where I'm going to put it. I may even put another little tail on the bottom on the other side. Let's see. The gold glitter is a flowing, y'all. I can't stop working with ribbon. I just love it too much. I mean, it is too cute to ignore, right? Just can't ignore it. It's adorable. These may be too long. You know what I can do? Ta-da! Just make them shorter. Fold it up. 1 more time. Okay. Yeah, I think I am. I'm going to balance it off. I may have to put a pipe cleaner on over here. Maybe right up in here in this area. Yep, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take 1 more pipe cleaner. And to balance off that tail on that side, I'm going to have 1 other little tail just kind of poking up. I'm just feeling my way around here. In between the bottom 2 pipe cleaners. Okay, feeling my way around there. Now I'm moving the mesh so I can see it, and I'll turn this over so y'all can see it. It's going to go about right here. And I'm going to put my other tails in that section. Just tails. And they're not going to be quite as long, because they're really just there for attention. Okay, let me pull that up some. Now, I'm pulling the pipe cleaner up over the mesh, so the tails will come out right here. Okay? So let's fold her up. 1 and 2. And then our tails don't need to be nearly as long for this part, so we'll just kind of pinch it here, fold it down, And then I'll cut that excess so we'll have enough room to fold. And we're going to go ahead and bring it in, connect it. And now we've got some real color in this wreath, some real glitter. We're going to have more glitter. But I just like everything to sparkle. It's already sparkling. The mesh has a metallic lining in it. And we're just going to have, it's Christmas. You got to glitter, right? It's Glistmas. Okay. Cut off our pipe cleaner. And voila. Now, our tails are just going to come out and say hello to the other little tails. And they're going to talk about Christmas stories and stuff. And this one really, I'm not, kind of cut it a little too short, but that's okay. Alright. How's that looking? We bring these tails over some. So they're kind of going sideways. And we have these going this way. And we have these up here. Just kind of poking out, saying hello. Hi, how are you? Now, my loops may have faded some, but of course, when I finish it and for photographs, it will be plumped up, as always. So, what do y'all think? How's she looking now? So, we're going to show it from this is the left side of the wreath. We'll roll over to the center, and then back over here to the left side, and you can see our little gold edition at the bottom. My hands are itching from wire, so I'm going to go use some Benadryl, y'all. Benadryl cream, not Benadryl. I wouldn't be asleep. I wouldn't be awake. Alright. So what do y'all think of it? I'm looking in the mirror and I'm loving it. Like BK. Loving it.